There's a chair in almost every home that feels like an old friend. It's soft, familiar, and always waiting for you. Maybe it's your recliner in the living room, or the cozy seat by the window where you sip your tea or read your paper. It's where your body feels at ease, and your thoughts can wander in peace. But what if I told you that very chair might be one of the most dangerous things in your house? Not because it will suddenly collapse or tip over, but because of what it slowly takes from you, day by day, without you even noticing. You see, after 65, our bodies change. While rest is important, too much stillness can quietly rob us of strength, balance, and independence. That beloved chair may be comforting, but it may also be stealing away the energy and ability your body needs to keep you steady, mobile, and free. This isn't about scaring you. It's about gently opening your eyes to something no one talks about, but every older adult deserves to know. Because once you understand the quiet danger, you can make small, loving changes that help you stay strong and capable for years to come. So stay with me for the next few minutes. This may be one of the simplest but most powerful truths you hear this week. It all starts with the chair you trust the most. Let's talk about how to keep your body and your life moving forward, gently and wisely. Growing older brings with it many gifts: wisdom, patience, and a deeper appreciation for the little things. But it also brings more stillness. The calendar becomes less crowded. The pace of life slows. And for a while, it feels like a welcome relief. No more rushing. No more schedules. Just space to breathe. In that quiet, we often find ourselves drawn to the most comfortable spot in the house. That soft chair becomes a daily refuge place. To watch the world go by, to rest our aging bones, to sit and think. And there's nothing wrong with that. Rest is good. Stillness can be healing, but there's a hidden cost. Because when we sit too long, too often, our bodies slowly forget how to move. Muscles weaken. Joints stiffen. The strength we once relied on just to rise, walk, bend, or balance starts to fade. It's not all at once, but gradually. Quietly. We may not notice it right away. It might start with a little extra effort to stand up, the need to steady ourselves before walking across the room, or a sigh as we lower ourselves into the chair again. We tell ourselves, "I'm just tired today." But those days begin to add up. The truth is, that favorite chair isn't hurting you on purpose. But if we treat it like a permanent resting place instead of a temporary pause, we may slowly be giving up our ability to move freely. It becomes a silent trap, not because it's dangerous in itself, but because of how it invites us to stop, asking more of our body. The beauty is that awareness gives us choice. We don't have to stop sitting, but we do have to be mindful of how much we sit and how often we rise. Think back for a moment to when you could move around your home without thinking twice, when standing up from the sofa took no effort, when you could bend to pick something up or reach to open a cabinet without even noticing the motion. It was second nature. It was freedom, but maybe now there's a pause, a hesitation. Maybe you have to push off with your hands. Maybe you need to sit a little longer to build up the energy. And maybe sometimes you decide not to move at all because, well, it just feels too hard. There's nothing wrong with needing rest. But what breaks my heart is how many people begin to believe that this struggle means they're broken or finished, or too old to rebuild what was lost. And that's simply not true. Your body hasn't given up. It's just been waiting quietly for you to invite it back to life. Even the smallest movements send a message. I still need you. When you choose to stand instead of sitting longer, when you stretch your arms, take a few steps, or move around the house, your body hears you, and it responds. Slowly, gently, but it does. The danger isn't in aging, it's in believing that decline is the only path forward. And that belief often grows strongest in stillness, in that very chair that holds us a little too long. You don't have to do anything dramatic. You just have to decide a day in small ways that you're not ready to give up your strength. From a health perspective, it's no secret that long periods of sitting are harmful, especially for those of us in our 60s. or beyond. It affects circulation, weakens leg muscles, slows digestion, and even fogs the mind. You might notice your feet swelling more, your back aching, or your balance feeling off. These aren't random. They're the body's quiet way of saying, I need movement. And here's the thing, it doesn't take much. Standing up every 30 minutes can make a difference. Walking to the kitchen, stretching your arms above your head. Even just shifting positions and engaging your legs makes a difference. Try creating tiny routines. When you go to the bathroom, take an extra lap down the hallway. When you watch TV, stand up during commercials. When the phone rings, answer it on your feet. These aren't exercises. They're gentle reminders that your body still works and that you still choose to use it. And there's another layer here, connection. When we move less, we often socialize less. It becomes easier to say no to a walk, to a visit, to a family gathering. And slowly, without meaning to, life becomes smaller. The walls of our home begin to feel like the edges of our world, but when we keep moving, we keep engaging.
Yes.
We say yes more often. We stay open. And that openness leads to laughter, conversation, love, the very things that make life rich. Your body wants to serve you. Let it. There's something quietly sacred about this stage of life. Every wrinkle, every ache, every gray hair tells a story. And your body, no matter how it feels today, is still a beautiful part of that story. We often treat the body like a machine when it slows. We assume it's failing. But I like to think of it more like a garden. The right care, even a garden that's seen many seasons, can still bloom. It just needs gentler hands, softer sunlight, more patient watering. Sometimes, though, we stop moving not because we're tired, but because we're discouraged, because we feel invisible, because the world seems to move on without us, and that chair becomes a place to hide. But you were never meant to disappear. You were meant to be seen, heard, and held. You were meant to keep growing, not just in body, but in spirit. When you choose to rise physically and emotionally, you are telling the world, I'm still here. I still have something to offer. When you do, you have stories no one else can tell, wisdom no one else can teach, love no one else can give. And none of that disappears just because your knees ache or your steps are slower. You are still full of life, and life still wants you here. So the next time you sit in your favorite chair, whether to rest, reflect, or simply watch the world outside your window, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, have I moved today?
Yes.
Have I asked my body to help me stay strong? Then gently rise, not because you must, but because you still can. Let that moment be a quiet victory, a soft whisper to your heart and your body. We're still going. Your chair isn't the enemy, but it must never become your final destination. It's a place to rest, not to remain. Pause, not a full stop. You are aging, yes, but you are not fading. There's still time, still strength, still purpose. Thank you for being here today. If this message touched something in you, share it with someone you love. We're all walking this path together. Sometimes a gentle reminder is all it takes. To keep us moving forward, you are not alone. You are not done. The next step is always waiting whenever you're ready to rise.